are listening to a High Standard production.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces in the building, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, the place where I speak with creators, curators, content pushers, and people that you should know. And right now, man, I am speaking with an OG, man, somebody that I've been watching for a long time. Huge fan of, man. They got a dope-ass crew. I'm talking with Rome of Dormtainment. How are you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. You know what? It's weird when people say OG because I'm like, damn, am I OG yet? Like, I'm OG. I'm OG internet. I'm OG internet for sure. For sure.
I wasn't going to say OG because I was like, I don't want him to feel like he old because he's not. But then I was watching the interview that you did with Timothy De La Ghetto or Timothy Chantaragzu, and you called yourself OG. I was like, all right, cool. He accepted, so I can call him that.
I fuck with it. I accept the OG out there because it's definitely OG in the internet. Because I mean, even though I'm literally only 32, which is funny, but yeah, I'm OG in the internet for sure.
So one of the things that I do on here is I make sure that I give people their flowers, make sure that I let them know what they mean to the culture and how important and how dope they were. And I know that as a creator, you know, I mean, you can be in that moment of just like moving that you don't really get a chance to step back and see what you have done. And I want to let you know, like, to the culture, man, and to people, like, Dormtainment is a part of so many people, man. Like, just what you guys gave to the world, the consistency, being funny, being a group of black men, and just like being able to touch on so many different topics to the point where, like, I've been such a fan of you guys that anytime that I see you guys do anything, like, I feel like it's my homies, it's my niggas that made it, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, when y'all was doing the Comedy Central shit, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, like, finally, because I remember y'all was running the campaign, get them boys a show, and then you're like, yep, them boys got a show. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, just even, like, small stuff, seeing y'all pop up on Insecure, you know, just like, oh, shit, that go wrong. Like, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. So, like, man, like, again, like, appreciate that content that you guys put out because, like, we was able to relate to it from every aspect.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Sometimes, like you said, we get caught up in working, and sometimes I tell people one of the greatest gifts that we have is reflection, because sometimes reflection. I heard a quote where it's like, life is lived forward, but it's remembered backwards, and that stuck with me because I was like, damn, that's real, because you got to remember where you came from, what you did, and I looked up one day and I'm like, damn, we've been doing this 11 years. Like, and then when I hear people just randomly be like, oh yeah, bro, I used to watch y'all all the time, or people that I even never thought would be watching me. Oh yeah, I used to. I mean, yeah, I've been on you. Yeah, you OG, you legend out here. I'm like, no, this is weird. This is wild to me, but I forget how powerful the internet really is. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that point in 2009, 10, 11, 12, when everything was new and circulating and going there. So it's still a but. And the funny thing is, I ain't even got started yet, so I'm ready to keep moving. So yeah, I'm excited.
No, definitely excited for it. So I also wanted to share something with you because it was something that you guys talk about a lot that you don't know meant a lot to my city, because you guys are huge Cuckoo Cow fans, and Cuckoo Cow is from my city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And so, like, every time you guys talk about it, I like, even when y'all be joking about it, I'm just like, yeah, there we go. Milwaukee made it to Dormtainment.
I watched this documentary. It was trash, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it for what it was. I appreciate it, and I was like, you know what, people don't understand. In my projects, when we used to come on 106 I was like, yo, this junk go hard. But yeah.
It was funny because, like I said, I am a patron of you guys, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Comedy Trap House. But, like, watching the videos, I remember when y'all found out that there was a documentary, how excited y'all were.
Oh yeah, I said I can't wait to tell y'all about this. I can't wait.
So my new goal, and which I'm going to do, is I'm going to track down Cuckoo Cow, and I'm going to either get an autograph or have him do a video shout out or something, because he's
there you go.
I see him randomly every other day, you know, and chop it up with him and everything.
Yeah.
He is definitely a person of the city, like a legend in the city. And like I said, you know, like we have a few people, you know, other people, you know, Rico Love, you know, he came from Milwaukee, you know, Business Boy, which is a producer who does a lot with like Black and like everybody. He's from Milwaukee, but like, I mean, he was one of the first. He reached across, and it was funny because like I do music myself, and like I would go places, and so like, you know, when I tell people the two things that people will say, I'm like, I'm from Milwaukee, and they was like, there's niggas in Milwaukee, and then I'm like, yeah, and then they were like, oh yeah, cuckoo cow, you know. So it was like those two was like the reference points of Milwaukee.
Yeah, then I knew my first year in college, I met a cool ass girl named Brooklyn, who was from Milwaukee, which was hilarious. Her name was, she was dope too. Yeah, so I had a couple of connections to Milwaukee, and I was like, damn, this wild. I never even thought about Milwaukee until now. So it was funny.
And it's like I said, it's something that always means well. Another thing that I was like, oh, it was dope. So like early on in your life, because like I said, you were a military brat, you were born in Germany, and you was able to move around a lot. Now that's similar to how my upbringing was, but I wanted to get your take on it. Like moving around that early, what did that do for you as a person?
I mean, it just broadens your perspective on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? When you're moving around that young and seeing things, you know, as kids, we're so inquisitive, you know what I'm saying? So like we see things, we're like, you know, what is this? What is that? Me living in Panama was so interesting because, you know, one, the language was, you know, different. And then two, the atmosphere was different. The food was different. So I'm asking my mom, what is this? And, you know, that's the first time I really like had plantains and, you know, and then the different culture. It's like, so you get to like really broaden your perspective at an early age. So then when you get older and you start to meet different people from different areas, your brain kind of taps back in like, oh yeah, like I remember that from when I was little. Or you can relate to people on a certain level. You can relate to others who either have moved around a lot and not been able to make friends because you moved around a lot before, or even just connect with somebody from a different culture because you maybe lived there before. Or like I said, I lived in Germany, I lived in Panama, I lived in Boston, I lived in Florida, I lived in North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? So it just broadened my perspective to life. And it made me see at an early age that I'm definitely not going to stay in my small town for sure. I'm going to be out of here. Like,
that's exactly my exact thought process. Because how long did you stay in Germany?
Germany, I think I was only 3. I was only 3. We dipped, and then I was in Boston, then I was in Panama, maybe at like 6, 7. And then went to Florida, North Carolina. Florida's where my dad's from, and then North Carolina's where my mom's from.
Yeah. See, I was in Germany from 6 years old to 10 years old. So I did like 4. My dad was stationed at Vogelway because he was in the Air Force. So he used to station at Vogelway. And one of the things that that was like a culture shock to me was that like there were like these little small stands that sold porn. it looked like a small gas station, but with no gas station pumps. And they just sold porn and candy. It was the most oddest things that I said. And we would run across those as kids and just like, wait, like, I mean,
those are two things that get the dopamine rolling. I get it, but like, you just want to at a newsstand, like, pick up your local porn. Like nah.
Shit was wild.
That's crazy. And so y'all would like. You would just be out and just see it. They're just there. Like,
well, yeah, because we stayed. They called it the Oval Drive that we stayed at. It was called the Oval Drive, and then
what
I can't remember. I just know the base was called Vogelway.
Vogelway, okay.
I can't remember specific. I gotta ask my pops.
I'm about to do that right now. Vogelway,
Vogelway, Vogelway, Germany. It was like it's Vogelweh.
Yep, Air Force Base. Look like it's in. Oh, maybe the place is called. Maybe it's called Vogelway. Oh, in.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna be able to say that.
Kaiserslautern. It just felt you gotta have a lot of spit to say it.
You gotta have right. But like
Yeah,
at the bottom of it, there used to be this place called the AYA. It was pretty much like the YMCA, you know, and like that's where all the kids would go after school. They had video games, arcades, but around it, there was just so much wooded area. So we would take our bikes and ride it through the trails on the woods, and then like that would take us like in actual Germany and you know around there. And so that's when we would encounter all these random ass porn candy shops. It was the most randomest shit ever.
That's actually wild. That's crazy. Yeah, I was born in Heidelberg, Germany.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now, when it comes down to like Dormtainment, y'all made y'all name around sketches, and everything like that. And then I know, like with every like I said, because I'm a fan, I hear the story. Like I hear why, like, you know, the money wasn't making sense because y'all was putting so much in and everything like that. But I do need to ask, when are y'all coming back to the streets? Because like we like them sketches, man, we need them back some.
I don't even think it was a money thing. What people got to realize is that we started 09. I mean, we did sketches 4 years, 5 years straight from 09 to like 2013, 2014. And then, of course, we had the Comedy Central stuff and all that stuff like 2014, 2015, and all that stuff. And you get to a point where you have to learn how to pivot. You got to pivot in another direction. Not saying that you leave everything behind, but you got to pivot and say, all right, we need to start focusing on like writing our movies, or we got to start focusing on a bigger project, because we can do sketches all day on YouTube, but like I don't know if that's really gonna get us to the level that we really trying to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Let's try writing these sketches and start pitching them to these networks and pitching them to our managers so they can go out and pitch them and all this stuff. So we needed to take a creative break because we were getting burnt out. You know what I'm saying? We were burnt out because any creator knows, like, you go at something too long, you're like, all right, I just need this.
Right.
and because we were filming everything on our own, and then and then also dealing with, you know, personal stuff, family, you know, all that stuff gets, so you're like, all right, let me step back. But it's funny you say that, because we are hopefully, but right now we're talking back with LOL Network again. And hopefully we can work something out with them where we will go ahead and do this sketch show. Like, I'm not leaving this earth without doing a sketch show. It's happening one way or another.
Y'all deserve it, bro.
Yeah, I was like, when it comes to sketches, nobody, and I'll say this, like, nobody on YouTube is messing with our sketch. I know.
100%.
It's not happening.
Because this is, I'm gonna let you finish, but this is where I put you guys at that upper echelons. Because if I'm not mistaken, there was at some point, like, y'all was, I want to say at least doing it once a month, but like I was putting out the rate of videos that y'all were putting out, but like they all hit. Like, and it's like, it's funny because like I'll find myself every now and then just going back, like, you know what, I'm gonna just watch some Dormtainment videos, and I just watch them all again, and they still hit to the point. One thing I was like, man, you know what? Like, cause like you guys had like certain things that y'all would do. Y'all would have your Thanksgiving thing, then y'all would have your Halloween thing. I was like, damn, man, the holidays coming. I would love another Dormtainment sketch for this one right here.
I mean, it's like, and it's funny because like a lot of people, like my homies tell me all the time, they was like, a lot of people don't know, like, the jokes that niggas is doing on Instagram, y'all did them in 09, 2010, 11, like y'all been did that. Like they probably got it from y'all.
right.
Yeah. But I say it all humbly in a sense where, like, I don't mind like people, you know, copying something, doing something, because art is invitation. I get it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm never tripping. And I want people to flourish and do their thing. But at the end of the day, I do know, like, once we get that sketch show, I'm knocking heads off. Because we got stuff written. So one time we had this sketch show that we were about to do, and it didn't fall through. But I think within a week we had wrote like 45 sketches. Like, it was nuts. We wrote something crazy. So I know as soon as we got stuff in the chamber that we ain't even let out. So it's like, I know as soon as it happens.
Got heat just sitting in the back.
Oh yeah, but I was like, it's just, it wouldn't be fair to the world if we didn't at least do one sketch show, even one season. I don't care. Like, it would, because we have to do that. Like, that's our fans. Every one of our fans would be like, there it is. That's what That's what I've been waiting
Yeah.
on right there. So we definitely gonna get that done. I mean, when you look at people like Key and Peele, I mean, both of them were in their early 40s when they got Key and Peele, and that show was funny. They was killing it. They was
killing
burning.
it, killing it. I tell people all the time because people always try to give them flack, like, oh, you know, because of Dave Chappelle joke, like, oh, they gave us the same show as Dave Chappelle. I'm like, yes, but no, because I was like, it was still funny. I was like, I can understand that if they did it and it was just lame.
Dave is in a whole nother. That's
yeah,
a thing. What Key and Peele did, as far as like their comedic acting, they were great actors. They were phenomenal
great
actors. And Dave wasn't even acting like they were acting. They were acting.
Yeah.
Like Dave was just overall funny. He was just funny. But they had the acting part down. And that show, like that substitute teacher skit is one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life. And I know when something's good is when I look at it and I don't even laugh. I'm just like, dog, I'm jealous. Like this shit is good. Like it's so good.
Well, you know, and it's what's like I'm in this weird space where I'm kind of like what you're saying, like, so like I'm doing my content creation thing and I'm doing these episodes where I'm interviewing people, and I got a good list of people that I'm interviewing, and I'm just like, damn, man, like, all right, like I can promote it and I can get like people rocking with it, but I'm like, I'm already thinking like, how do I take this to the next level? So then I'm seeing other people doing it. I'm just like, man, like, oh, it's dope because I'm still celebrating, but I'm just like, damn, that could be me. Like I feel like what I got here is gold. You know, you know.
That's a struggle of being a creative, man. You know how it is. That's how it always is.
So I think when I really started noticing, I was like, oh man, Rome can act because like I know you do like your role in acting as well. And we see it in your sketches, but then you did, I guess it's a short series, but you did Couples Night with What's Good.
Yeah, man, my shout out to What's Good. That's my dog.
Yeah, that's my homie too, man. And when I saw that, like, one, I was excited to see, because like y'all worked with damn near everybody. There's like nobody in the digital space that y'all didn't work with, from the Batches to the Kevs to the Tahirs to the What's Good to the Issa. Like y'all done work with so many people. But like when I saw that, and because I knew that it was going to be a long form content type of thing, and I was like, okay, so we're going to really get to see some acting chops. And I was like, yo, like Rome, like, even if you like outside of just like the skit and the sketches, it made me say, I would like to see Rome in a sitcom. Like I can see him being a recurring character in a sitcom, and I thought that was dope because like you got a chance to show that off.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I would be down for that. I'd be down for a sitcom, a series. I mean, like anything like that. Even if when we write our own series, whatever it is, I think I just like exercising that muscle. And I definitely one day want to do a nice drama or dramedy. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be dope just to get the chops in with that. But Couples Night was fun because I was writing it along with another writing partner. I was writing it and I was acting in it. So like getting to see my script come to life, and then What's Good directing it. And we did that all in-house again. Everything that we did in-house is just preparing us for when we have to do our own, like, keep doing bigger stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I don't take anything for granted. But yeah, Couples Night was dope. We had like a deal with Facebook that lasted maybe like 2 years, 2 years or so. And it was a blessing. So shout out to Facebook for that, and shout out to What's Good. Like that was
That's dope that you wrote it.
We had to work with so many. I mean, which this is full circle. This is funny how life works. The very first episode, it was the 3 girls that we used were B. Simone, Javicia, and Candace, my trainer's girlfriend. And now Javicia about to play Batwoman. That was 3 years ago. So
no, you know what? What's crazy is like every year or every now and then when I go back and watch the videos, I'm spotting the people that are popping. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm mad that I'm gonna butcher her name, but old girl that's in Snowfall.
Oh, Gail.
Yeah, she's in a ton of y'all videos, and I'm like, fam, how did I not recognize this? And then like even T.
We met Gail in like 2013. That's like our sister. She been rocking with us ever since.
I know it's so many people. Like even just like in general. Like I was watching some video. I can't remember which one. And then I was like, oh shit, they go Patrick Cloud. I'm like, oh shit, they go, hi, my name is T. Like I'm just like seeing all these people. I'm like, fam, they've been working with so many people. But here's another thing that came full circle with us. So like I was talking to my guy, and my guy, he's a video director, and I chop it up with him all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I usually bounce stuff off him because he's been in the industry. He's been doing short films and stuff like that. My guy, Brandon Champ, Robinson. And when I was chopping up with him, I was like, yeah, man, I told him like 3-4 months ago, I'm like, yeah, me and Rome, we've been chopping it up on Twitter. I'm trying to get him. He was like, oh yeah, I did the voiceover on their Nat Geo thing. And I was like, wait, what? And I'm like, I've known this dude for like years. And I'm like, fam, I seen that sketch so many times. How did I not recognize that was your voice? And he was like, yeah, they cool as shit. I'm like, fam, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, he did his thing on there. Yeah, life is just funny, man. You just never know how people gonna interact and how they gonna meet each other, see each other. We've seen so many of our close homegirls that were literally had no followers in one of our videos, and then next thing you know, they on TV or in a movie somewhere. Like, it's wild how life is. But I think that's beautiful because I think that just means we're all connected and we're all leveling up and doing great things. Even you doing this podcast, like, this is another sign that you just keep moving up and keep doing your thing. So like, you got to just keep it going, stay consistent.
So how is, like, because I know that y'all do y'all podcast in-house and y'all do like everything right now, but I know, like you said, you're focusing on writing and directing and everything. How has COVID helped been for you guys?
COVID was the best thing to happen to us this year, which is why, and I say that with due respect to everybody that's lost somebody or been affected by somebody. I say that, but for me personally, and our group, it's been the best because sometimes he gotta pull the rug out from under you. You know what I'm saying? Because you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable, and it's like, oh no, we gotta shake things up. So boom, as soon as this happened, we were like, all right, we in the house, so we got to get it. Like, it's just like, it's what it is. We got to get it. And so we did a few quarantine sketches. We did like 5 or 6 quarantine sketches, which was funny. That was cool. But then it allowed us to come up with a whole nother series called our Dormtainment Stories.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that fans just wanted to hear us talk. And so,
I'm surprised.
No, because think about it, because for years it's like, where the skits? We want more skits. So then we was like, all right, let's try something. Let's try this DT story thing. Let's just tell a story. And when I did the very first one we did was on my birthday this year, which was April 1st, and then I did the story about how I almost fought Bow Wow.
Yeah, that story is hilarious, bro.
And once we put that out and I seen it had like 300, 400, 500, I was like, wait, hold on. And what's funny is, even on our skits, we never had 400 or 500 comments. Like, people just talking on this. Like, oh, we got something here. So then we just rolling along ever since. And fans are like, they don't even, not that they're not asking about the skits, but they like, hey man, we like these stories. Like, so that's another avenue to pivot in that we did. And then it gave time for me and Cam to start our Shades company.
Yeah, man. Shady Side Up.
So that's been going good. And we literally started that in March and were launched by August. So we worked that whole time just being in here, just working, figuring out the shade, figuring out the logo, figuring out how we want to sell it, figuring out the Shopify, all this stuff. But COVID allowed us to do that because we couldn't go nowhere. So we had to be in our own element. We had to work at the AU. When you're under that type of pressure, when you're under the pressure of like living, to get the finances in order,
right?
You're like, oh, this is real, and this could happen at any time. Like let me lock in. So I think it was a big time for people to really understand that this life ain't really nothing to play with like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't rely on government and all that stuff, because at any time they can shut shit down. And then once they shut shit down, like, you like, oh shoot,
like what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? So it was good. What about for you? How'd you manage it? Like, how are you going?
Man, you know what? Again, same way that you said. Much respect and condolences to anybody who had lost anything. But like, when we was doing our podcast, it was just the bi-weekly podcast that we were doing. And I was like, I want to do some other stuff. I want to. So when COVID shut down, I was like, all right, we can do our podcast via Zoom and stuff like that. But I'm like, I was like, I want to launch our Patreon. We never, like, I've been had the Patreon, but I never launched it because I'm like, I couldn't figure out how to turn that into income. And, so we had bought this new studio like in COVID. And I was like, all right, well, now that we got a new studio, let's just start creating. So I started these.
Are you in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So I started these interviews in COVID, and like the first person I reached out to was my guy Mickey Fax, because I did music with him, and I was like, all right, so he's gonna be my first guest. And then like I just like tossed it out and was like, hey, what's, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I get you on? He was like, hell yeah. And like, because like I'm reaching out to people that I already fuck with, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Wes, we kind of got like a connected history through some music shit. And then like, I was like, me and Timothy De La Ghetto, I was just like super cool with them on Twitter. So I was like, hey, bro, like, you think you can hop on? He was like, yeah. So it was like, I just like being able to use my connections. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get 3. These are gonna be my first 3. Knocked it out with them. Got some really, really good responses from them. And then I was like, I'm just gonna keep on going. And I just kept on shooting, reaching out to people. And like, I think the turning point for like this becoming like something consistent is when I was able to interview Van Lathan, and then we kind of had like a really dope conversation about comic books and shit like that. And at that point I was like, all right, I'm going to continue this. And like now it's just been getting more and more traction. Then now my brother, who's also part of the podcast, he started this show where he's doing like this rewind where they'll watch an episode and then they'll break it down. And so like now we got our vision board. So you've done stuff with JK News, right?
Yeah, JK News.
So you know how like when you're booked with JK News, and this is what I learned from watching them, like you go there, but they have you do like multiple things throughout it. It's like a day with JK News.
We was there, we did like 4 episodes, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, now that we got our headquarters and now that things are rocking and we're now monetizing, we launched our Patreon, we got some people supporting us. I said, my goal for this is, because we call ourselves the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together, I want Geekset to, like, I want us to be able to book people. I want to be able to say, hey, Rome, I want to fly you out to Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to do a day. I'm going to interview you, and then we're going to have you Twitch with us, you know what I'm saying? We're going to play some game. Then we're going to watch either a movie or a show or something. We'll rewind it, but get 4 or 5 videos out of that day from, you know, I want to be able to do that, and that's my goal now.
I would say definitely you could fly me, just not during the winter. You could definitely get me during the summer, brother.
Wait, have you lived in like up north or anything? Like, because I know you lived in the South.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know about these winters.
Oh, I do not fuck with that no more. I did 25 years of cold. I'm good. I'm good. That shit hurts.
It hurts. Does, bro. It does.
I don't like when people be like, well, you know, you from the East Coast, you be all right. Nigga, I'm a human. I'm cold.
Well, no, it depends on how long you still there. Cause like I'm still here. So like it don't be bothering me.
Yeah,
but like
I'm 7 years removed now. Like,
I got people who like living like a couple of years ago when Atlanta shut down for like 2 inches of snow. I'm sitting there like, what? I'm like, fam, it is 8 inches right now, and I gotta go to work. Like, what are you talking about? Right. That's the worst.
What you're doing is good. Like, yeah, you definitely want to get to that point to where you just house everything. Like, it feels so good when you get to a point where you can, like, because there was a point where we couldn't pay the people that we worked with because, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have it. So now it feels good to be able to like call your homie over to do a part, and then when they got about to leave, you be like, yo, what's your Venmo? I'm gonna throw you some money. You know what I'm saying? It just, even if it's $50, $100,
right,
you're still like, oh damn, like I can do that for some people now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a good feeling. So you gonna get there for sure, because I already see you got the vision, so you're gonna be there in no time. Definitely.
No, I appreciate that for real.
Hey, I want to talk to you today about GeeksetPodcast.com, the only place that blends hip-hop culture and geek culture together in one place, and the only place to get your official Geekset swag. Go to our shop and view our wide selection that we offer, from the No Dubs collection, Big Bit Tees, Talking That Geek-ish, and more. Today, use code Deuces during checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. Then, take a picture and post it on Instagram using the hashtag Geekset for a chance to be featured on our page, and a chance to win extra deals in the future. So don't hesitate. Drop by the website today. Listen to our latest episode, watch our latest videos, read our latest reviews, and shop with your favorite geeks. GeeksetPodcast.com.
Boss Talk.
Subscribe to our Patreon. Listen to our bonus podcast called Boss Talk, where we give you gems, jokes, and our personal stories.
And we got a wider range of topics such as gratitude,
spiritual alignment,
mastering your energy,
and resistance,
and many, many more.
So subscribe, become a Patreon, and become a boss.
I am rocking the Can I Have a Waters. Cam is rocking the Strawberry Mimosas. Emmanuel's rocking the coffees. And it's doing good, man. So if you haven't gotten a pair, go to ShadySideUp.com, get you a pair.
So now, something that I just learned that I did not know, and I'm like, fam, being a Dormtainment fan, I'm mad I didn't know that.
Mhm.
But y'all name was about to be Dorm Sweepstakes and no curfew.
All right, so look. When we first was launching, it was going to be like a site where we gave things away to college kids, you know, things like that. We didn't necessarily think we were going to be doing full on schedules like that. But then Mike had an idea for it called No Curfew. And at the time, we kind of shitted on the name. We was like, no curfew. That sounds like some kids. But what's wild is how life works. Fast forward 2016, we were putting together this kind of show where it would be sketches and then like interviews and then like a musical guest at the end, and then like we play games with the guests and have a drink hour and talk to them and why, and like it was like this sexy, like almost like if you should Google or YouTube a show called Playboy After Dark with Hugh Hefner.
Okay.
It was a fast show where he basically invited guests to his Playboy penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would, you know, girls and stuff be there, guys. So everybody be dressed up cool. Like it's an episode with Sammy Davis Jr. and they all chilling, they smoke, they drinking, they talking. So it was gonna be like that kind of feel.
Right.
And then we was like, the perfect name for this would be No Curfew. The perfect name.
No, that makes sense. That definitely does make sense.
Like, and then Mike was like, see, I told you. Like, nigga, you 8 years late. What you talking about? But it made sense, man. And what's wild, so I just continue that story just because it's a story about like how you just get to a point where you just don't let stuff affect you because you know it's gonna be something. So we had the show, and then boom, there was a network by Verizon at the time. It was like a digital network, but they were like mixed with Complex and some other people, but they were about to throw us a bag for the show. Like they loved the show, all this stuff. And then one day we got a call and they were like, the Verizon shut the whole project down. I mean, not just our project, but every project under that. And we were like, all right, cool. We just hung up the phone, went back to work. And that's the point we realized. We was like, oh, this stuff don't affect us no more. Cause we just keep going. Cause we know we'll probably maybe use it for something else or whatever. Like we'll just keep it going. So, you know, it's just crazy how quickly things can come up and then they can come back down.
Right.
And they go up.
Well, that's one of the things that I think as a fan, why we connect so much with y'all, because one, like y'all are very open about y'all ups and downs and things like that, right? So like just like knowing that, like, okay, like even with the Snap series that y'all had, like because it got shut down because somebody got Me Too, right? You know, knowing that, and then like, you know, like even when y'all channel got deleted, like what I thought was dope was like how like because y'all had such loyal fans when y'all relaunched. The numbers was so crazy that like that helped you guys get with the agency that you guys are with, because they was like, man, how y'all got these numbers? You're like, yeah, man, it's just us, man. We just that good. And I'm like, hey, what's funny? I was telling my guys, I was like, hey, man, we should just like delete our page and just re-upload everything, because then it's gonna look crazy. It's gonna look like, oh shit.
Yeah, man. Fans like we would be nowhere without you guys, man. Because it was just like that happened so out the blue, and then. I mean, they rallied back, and like I said, it happened so quickly. Like everybody was back on it. And it's like I wouldn't like whenever we get to write the Dormtainment story or book or bio-pic.
That's gonna be fire.
It's so much in there that we ain't even told people. So we was talking about it the other day. We was like, yeah, we can't tell them because we want to write a dumbass, crazy ass book one day and just like give it all to them in the book and like tell them to go read it.
That'd be crazy.
All the inside stuff, you know, because people, of course, want to know about Tay. They want to know about all this stuff. We was like, no, let's hold on to it and we'll just throw it all in the book and be like, there you go. I ain't got no more.
So what's funny is because I posted up the picture. Everybody's like, oh man, you gotta ask him about Tay. I'm like, bruh. I was like, one, y'all must not be true fans, because if y'all was, if y'all would, one, y'all would know, but two, y'all would know like that's not a topic that they gonna freely talk about. I'm like, I'm not, and then I told my podcast people, I'm like, look, I'm not in this business to like put people on the hot seat. Because I was like, because then if you think about it, I was like, so let's say if I do bring that up and then that it is a hot point still to them, or like, you know, and then now, you know, Rome feel disrespected. I just killed that relationship that we, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not there.
Like a lot of fans were like, look, y'all, leave them alone. It's been 4 years.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
but you know, I tell people, I mean, for people who listen, I tell people this, it's like, it's one of those things where, look, you know, I'm 32. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to hide, and it's no beef, no malice on our part, but it just didn't work out the way it was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things that it just happened that way, but I have no ill will in my heart towards anybody, and there's been no problems. Everything we've handled the way we've supposed to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best way you can, because things happen. People have friends that they you know, you just move apart from. You like, all right, cool. All right, man, see you. I hope you do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. And then that is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of situation it is. But of course, you know, people want to get down in the nitty gritty, you know, but we'll say that for the book. We got y'all.
But that definitely will be something that people gonna go straight to that chapter.
No, they go straight to
but okay, so because like I said, being a creator, like, you know, you always have that one thing that you think is going to be the one, right? So like I remember when I interviewed Kev on stage, I'm like, oh, this is about to get me 100,000 views, and it got me some decent views, but not that, right? Now, Straight Outta Dunwoody, is that y'all most popular one? Because that's the one that kind of got a lot of other people looking at y'all, right?
You talking about as far as, okay, because it's two types of popular. It's most popular as numbers, and it's most popular as the moment that switched to something.
The moment that switched to something.
Yeah, it would be the Straight Outta Dunwoody. Yeah.
Did y'all expect that to be that, or did you have another one in mind that you thought was going to be it?
Never. We wasn't even gonna shoot Straight Outta Dunwoody. That's the crazy thing. Wasn't even gonna shoot it. We was gonna, or either we wasn't gonna shoot it, or we shot it. We were like, I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping, but we was like, we already shot it. I mean, we got to put it out.
Right.
Within a day, like, people was hitting us up, and then we called the Dunwoody's office, and it was like, oh, we already seen the video, and the mayor seen it. And I'm like, what? But Straight Outta Dunwoody is the reason we got in contact with Comedy Central. So I would say, you know, because once it got on the NBC Today show, I'll never forget. I'm sitting at work at this job called 3PD, this punk ass call center job. And I'm sitting there and I'm typing, and I get an email, and I look at the email, and it was like, hey, this is so-and-so from Comedy Central, New York. We would love to meet with you guys. I said, wait. What is this? So I click on it, and I'm like, I told my boss, I said, hey, bro, I gotta leave. I gotta go. I gotta leave early. I don't feel good. He's like, no, I don't feel good. I'm leaving. I drove home. I'm told the guys, they're like, wait, what is it? So yeah, so that is the true. So the Straight Outta, so us, it's weird just how life works, because had we not ever got evicted from the other place, we wouldn't have moved to Dunwoody. And if we wouldn't have moved to Dunwoody, we wouldn't have done that video. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
I didn't know y'all got evicted. I thought y'all just leveled up.
Got evicted, brother. Got evicted. Got evicted. But it's an eviction with purpose, because we didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even know. We were just like, oh God, we get evicted, So left, went to Dunwoody. No, sorry. When we moved to Dunwoody, we had just moved, but me and Mike had got evicted out of our because me and Mike were rooming together. And you know, niggas moved to Dunwoody, and then shit went. But also in Dunwoody is where we lost our channel. So it's both. Like it's just it was wild, but it's all because of the fans. And then that was the moment. The Dunwoody video was definitely the moment. But our first million view video was Ass on the Internet.
Yeah, you know that go hard. Yeah. Was that the time did you quit your job after Dunwoody, or was you still working?
I was still working. We moved to Dunwoody. I had, because I was at the time, it's wild, people don't know this. At the time, didn't have a car, barely had bread. All of us were still basically fresh out of college, struggling. So but we were still making these videos, so which is wild because you can't really tell because we never was looking down or sad, and we were just still just doing our thing. But at the time, I was still working at the 3PD place. I would have to, because I was staying with my homeboy because I didn't have my apartment at first, so I would have to get up at 4, catch a bus to the MARTA station, get on the train, catch another bus just to be at work by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know that struggle, man.
Work, get off, go film, tell them what time we're gonna get done. Go to sleep, get up and do it again. Nigga, we was in there working. I was like, so that's why when certain people hit me, like, people that look up to us and they be like, hey man, I want to do skits and stuff like that. Would you got any advice or should I do it? And first thing I say is no. And they be like, huh? And I'm like, look, to be honest, if you gotta ask me if you should do it, then you don't really want to do it. Yeah. That's it, because I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna get rough. I was like, you gotta remember, we started at 0. We didn't start at 1 million some followers. Like, we started at 0, and it's gonna be rough in between. But if you really want to do it, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna stick through it, and it might take 10 years, might take 15, might take 5, might take 3. I don't know, but you gotta stick with it. So, but it was fun. I remember one day we were talking about, I think this was when we were in it, we were like, yo, let's remember these moments because, we won't have these again. These are the moments that you remember in the dirt with your homies, like grinding, you know what I'm saying? So I still think about that.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like that's kind of where we are at. It's 4 of us. It's 4 of us on the Geekset podcast, and like watching what y'all went through, because like, and even listening to y'all stories, like how like even Mike was saying, like, he was working at that grocery store, but people would come to his line and it was like, he had to quit because of that, but it was like he didn't really even have it at that time for that. It's just he had to because it was like you in that weird space where people could recognize you, but the money is not the same as that recognition and everything like that. And so it's like, doing these interviews, doing our podcast, like we legit, somebody just bootlegged our one of our logos and put it on Amazon. Like legit, just like our Geekset podcast stuff. And I was like, wait, what? And so like I had to, we filed a infringement claim with Amazon, but I'm just like, I was telling my guys, I was like, bro, like we're bootleggable. Like people want to bootleg us now. I was like, no, that's crazy at this point that people want to bootleg us, because I was like, we're in the mud. Like I said, we came from doing this podcast in a basement to now having our own headquarters, now doing these major interviews. Now, we got our merch line popping, like we got figurines of us, we got a comic strip of us.
What merch you got?
Oh, shit, I'm gonna send you some. We got a whole line. This is our, just like in general, but just our logo brand, but like my guy Bacardi.
Yeah, shoot it to us. I rock it on the podcast. We'll talk about it like we always do.
Oh, so. Yeah, definitely, guys. Because like my guy Bacardi, he's running our merch line, and like he's coming up with like different because like again, we want to blend that hip hop culture and geek culture together. So he's coming up with different ideas that are just like not just the logo. Like we do have our original logo tees, but like we just have so many different stuff that we've been doing based off of like anime, comic books, and blending that hip hopness to it. And like we've been doing very well with it. And so it's like it's just one of those things. Like you said, you reflect back on it, like damn, we started this just in the basement drinking whiskey talking about anime, and now we legit got like a brand that we are building and that we're trying to get there.
Niggas up like this, man. We had a green sheet on a mattress.
Yes, y'all did.
We had a fucking green sheet on a mattress, my nigga, but that shit worked. It just
not even that.
Niggas didn't even. We would shoot videos and just leave the mattress up. Just wouldn't even care. Just leave the shit up in the.
No, this is when I was like, oh, they out here grinding. When y'all did, I think it was like a vlog or behind the scene of y'all putting together everything for the ads on the internet video. Like, I was like, wait, because like I remember watching the video and like not really thinking like, oh, this is their apartment. But then I was like, oh wait, that's their apartment. Wait, so they put aluminum foil in the whole hallway? I was like,
whole hallway, nigga. And they're doing arts and crafts. For years, I didn't even understand why I had to take arts and crafts until I was 23 years old making an arts and crafts. Like, that shit crazy, though. That's wild.
you know what song lives in my mind rent free that I constantly sang from y'all? So like As the Internet is one, but like no, out of nowhere, I just randomly go body roll.
Oh man,
Because that shit.
I don't think people like Body Roll is definitely in my top. It's in my top 5 of videos too, because people don't understand. We turned our house into a sushi restaurant. Like,
Wait, that was y'all crib?
that was a house, bro. That was
Oh my God. I thought y'all went on location.
We did everything in house, brother.
Dog, that's cold.
Like, because the first opening shot, when you go look at it again, first opening shot, you see stairs. All the girls are lined up on the stairs.
Yeah, they said
all on the stairs. That's the house. That's right there. And
I just assumed that was like the restaurant layout, bro. That's crazy.
It's wild, dog. That's why I say this. That's what I tell people. If you really want to do this, you gotta get in the
Gotta get creative, man. Like that's the same thing. Cause like, so when I started these interviews, I was like, okay, I can just have the Zoom screen, but I don't know if you saw any of like how it looks, but like I was like, nah, I want it to stand out. So I created this layout where it looks like, you know, like in video games where they got the versus screen where it has like the person and versus. Like that's how I have it set up. So like when you see, yeah. So and I was, but it was like I just created that. Like I didn't have to, you know, and I was like, because I was like, I see all these people. I'm like, yeah, people are doing Zoom interviews, but it's like you just see the black background and then 2 faces. I'm like, nah, let me switch it up. I want it to have its own identity and have an intro.
I tell people, nigga, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
hey, man, listen here. I've been reaching out. Listen here, I like. The amount of people that deny the interview from me is longer than the people that approve the interview. But I reach out to everybody. I'm talking about like I reached out to Issa, Michael B. Jordan. I'm like, you never know, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know who's gonna say yes, who got some time. Like I just interviewed old boy who plays Cyborg in Doom Patrol, Jovan Wade, and it was just like you would think like, oh, he's on a promo run, he's doing it, he ain't got time for this small podcast, but he was like, hell yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It was like. You know what I'm saying? You, like I said, I was trying to get you for like the past 3 months. And here's why I tell people ask me like, oh man, how you be getting these people? I'm like, I just reach out, but also I'm patient because if I hit you up and you like, oh yeah, you know, let's do it. But then like, we don't have communication. Some people be like, oh man, like Rome he ghosted me. And I'm like, nah, he busy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it some time and I'm just gonna hit him up again. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll hit them up 2-3 months later on because I'm like, that patience is going to pay off because 1, I'm not begging or I'm not bugging him, but 2, I'm also not trying to put him on Front Street just because he's busy. Like he is, you know? And so like, that's one of the things that I constantly tell people. I'm like, look, just reach out. The worst thing that people can say is no, but don't take it personal if they can't do it right now.
People, you know how many of these networks we done walked in and they done straight to our face like, we don't want it, or look at us, be like, this ain't it, or look at, be like, not for me, or but that was at one time shit. That was about a weekly thing. We was like, nigga, I'm not going to no more meetings. Like, I'm staying home, like, you know, because I don't even care about them saying no. I care about my gas, my nigga. Like,
right.
You can tell me this on video or phone or something. Like I ain't got time for this. So. The no is a part of the game. Like once you learn how to bounce a no off, you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like, yeah, I'm straight after that.
I think it was Charlemagne that said it, or I forgot who, but somebody was saying that there was like, damn, I'm a butcher the quote. I know I am, but it was something along the lines of like, like there's no such thing as luck. Opportunity is just being prepared at the right time, or some shit like that, right?
Yeah. And it's when preparation. And I think it's when preparation and time meet. Like that's what. And
it made me think about something that y'all talked about, or I think it was just you that talked about it. But you were saying how like when y'all was doing Dormtainment, y'all wasn't really like hosting shows or anything like that. But then you had a homie. I think she works for Warner now, but her Latoya Lee. She worked for Atlantic at that time. But she was like, "Hey, y'all do hosting," and y'all was like. Yeah. And like y'all, because of whoever was supposed to be there backed out, y'all end up having to do a show, but y'all was able to prepare and do a show and do something right then and there. And that kind of like launched how y'all do y'all tours and y'all shows. And I was like, see, that's being prepared and having stuff right there because it was like at that moment, like y'all thought y'all was just going to be, you know, just hosting. And now y'all had to do a whole show.
Yeah, me hosting, I'm going to come out, crack a joke or two and be like, all right, cool, next act. But once the intermission act then show, we was like, oh shit, we gotta do something. Like we gotta figure something out. and that became. Then we toured with that for like 3-4 years. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's just being prepared. It's just knowing that, well, okay, well, what can we do, and what, because like that's the same thing. Like I said, when we started doing, like we one of our stomping grounds that we go to the comic book conventions, because you know that's our brand. And I was like, man, I was like, look, I would love to do like a live podcast, but I was going to these panels and I was seeing, and it was very dead in there. It was like, I mean, it's informative because there's people on there answering questions. Oh, you got a question? All right, let me answer your question. And it was more so like that. And I was like, I don't want that. So we did like this convention in Chicago called Wakanda Con, and I was like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do what we do here. We're gonna podcast, but we're gonna let them know that it's open. Crowd can yell at us, they can talk to us, they can talk back, and to this day, that show kind of like set how we like to do our live podcast, because it's like, no, I don't want it to be just y'all just listening or we just ask one question. Like, no, we're gonna ask questions to the crowd, y'all yell it out. Like, we're gonna have it, we're gonna make it fun. And it's just like being able to move around, shit like that, you know.
Be in that pocket.
Yeah. I can say, like, right now, I'm waiting for, like, it's funny because I work in the call center as well. So I'm waiting for that email, like,
Hey, listen,
so I can be like, hey man, I'm not feeling so good.
I'm gonna send you a fake email. Now I got you. look, you gonna open it up. I'm gonna say, get your ass back to work.
Oh shit, that'd be hilarious, bro. All right, so another thing that I learned from like the podcast and watching like the Boss Talks and you know, the Couch Chronicles, y'all fucking love battle rap such as me.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite battle rapper?
Like I said, like back in the day, it was definitely Serious Jones, because I think it was just funny to me.
Yeah.
It was funny, but I mean, Arsenal, we cool with Arsenal. That's our homie. Like, he came to the house and we kicked it. I remember probably like 3 years ago. That was dope. I mean, it's just
Arsenal dope. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like Arsenal dope. I like the old school. Like why his name just slipped my mind? Murder Mook.
That's my GOAT. That's the top tier for me, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so hard to name because it's like some battles, it's like you can like one guy really well, but then like another battle might outweigh the whole. You know what I'm saying? Certain battles you be like, oh man, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just like the competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like and then it's so funny. The funniest thing, we was laughing, but the funniest thing is just watching niggas in the background be happy. They be like, oh.
Hey, that's one of my goals. I'm like, I want to be on stage. I want to be one of the niggas on stage. And when somebody says, I'm like, oh.
That's why.
Like, I want to be that.
That's why Deshaun Raw is always gonna be one of the funniest skits, because he was the first one to do that battle rap parody, and that shit was funny. Like, it was just funny because that's how people are. Like, they'd be better. You just be high. It'd be one line and they pause and they say their line. Oh. I'm thinking about. I mean, think about a skit. Maybe call it like a battle rap crowd school, where you figure out how, like, niggas that's trying to learn how to be in the crowd. I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. I just thought about that.
That's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny. Another thing with Dormtainment that I feel like is going to be sketched in history is y'all got so many gifts.
What you mean?
Like gifts, like GIFs.
Oh yeah.
Like you slide in for the slide in the DMs, Chaz falling out, black people laughing.
My homies be sending me conversations that they be using with girls and be like, "Yo, look what I just used," and I be like, "Yo, y'all niggas funny, bro." Everybody, girls be sending me, look what popped up in my group chat and all this. I'm like, this is wild. If we got paid for gifts and memes, it'd be crazy. Crazy.
The funniest one, and it's because of the way people use it, is when it's the white girl crying and you in the back like this.
I remember when that very first popped up, it was called the white tears meme.
Yeah.
And that's funny you just said that, because I just talked to her this morning. She just bought a pair of shades this morning. I still she hit me, was like, yo, we ain't caught up in a while. And I'm telling her about the shades, and she just bought a pair right before we did this podcast. So that's the funniest part. But no, she cool. Shout out to her. Elena is her name.
You know what would have been funny is if she was like, if she asked you like, hey, how much it costs, and you tell her the cost, and then she sent that meme.
Oh yeah. If she would have did that, I was like, you got it. You would go. You got it. you got it. Yeah, but no, she's dope. I love like catching up with people that we work with or hadn't worked with in a while, and just seeing how they doing, see where their life is at. Because I mean, especially in 2020, you don't know where people's mental state is at. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. You know, or people. Some people that we've had in skits and stuff, they were wanting to be actors, and then they decided to go another route. Like I know one of our homies that we had in the skit. She was going to be an actress for a while, but now she's doing like consulting for like PR and stuff like that. And I think that's where her passion. So it's just interesting to see where people like start going. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this ain't built for everybody.
It ain't, and that's you know what's fun. Like, I had hip hop dreams. I wanted to be the biggest rapper. I wanted to do that. That was it. So it was like, you know, I was talking to some people who knew me for a while, and they're like, fam, I would have never thought you'd be doing interviews and stuff like that. Because it was like, if you knew me, music was my whole life. It was all that I did.
Same way. Same. But luckily, since what we doing, we still can do both. Like,
well, I wanted to get into Tropical Storm because it's like, you know, like.
Listen, man, those guys right there, man, you know, they wild with it. But yeah, man, that's one of my favorite things because it allows me and Cam to just like dip into our like ignorant bag. Like, man, that's it. But there should be going though.
That's what it is. And that's the main thing about it is like it'll be a song and you're gonna laugh, but then you get caught up in the beat and you get caught up in like the tones and like what you know, and that's when I was like, oh, like they artists because like you got like you'll hear certain comedy raps and it's really just a person talking, right? Or like rapping, right? Like you can hear their regular voice, but like y'all are doing melodies, hooks, and stuff like that. I was like, oh, they taking it to another level.
Yeah, we putting chord progressions in here. It's real because like I said, I came from music too. I've been doing it since I was like 9 or 10. So when I got the opportunity, it was like, oh, when we first came up with the Busta McThunderstick character, and then I came with the Strike and Make Lightning Rod, it was matrimony after that. That was it. And we done. It's wild. We've done 5 albums. I tell people that's actually wild. That we've done 5 albums.
Yeah.
And we already talking about the next album might be a concept album. So that's gonna be funny too. So yeah.
Because I mean, the first album I think when I started actually getting into y'all music was Get Yourself a Little Sandwich. I purchased that one because I purchased the whole because it was like a skit and an album, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
Get Yourself a Little Sandwich was the
It was just a digital
DVD. Yeah.
Everything, but the first album that we did, was we're rappers, but we don't rap.
Okay, I don't think I heard that one. I think it was what.
That one, then we our first Dormtainment album was Broken Famous.
Broken Famous was the one I purchased. I got those two mixed up. That was the first one that I purchased.
Yeah, but it had oodles and noodles on the front. That's why.
And that's another thing where I like about y'all music because like the music itself is like based off of just like common stuff that like it was like, but it's like this it's comedic stuff, but it's just common stuff that you're like.
I came up with Body Roll because we was in the club with TGT and Genuine was in there body rolling, and I was like, why is he in here body rolling so hard? I was like, you know what? I'm about to go home. I'm about to make a song called Body Roll. And then that's exactly how that.
You know what y'all should do is y'all should do like a Dormtainment universe because of all the characters that you guys have. Like just to be able to see some type of some characters interact because one, your Shawty character is one of my favorite characters. Just because, like, just how, because at the end, he was like, Shawty sad, man. I was like, I feel Shawty. I was like, I feel him, bro. Shawty sad, man.
Shawty sad, man.
But it was like, y'all got so many iconic characters or just characters that y'all did that I was like, it'll be funny just like, even if y'all was to just bring them back in some way, shape, or form. And
like Jerome Hanson and Jerry J in something together. Jerome Hanson is one of my favorite characters. Like, that shit. Like, Emmanuel be killing that shit.
Now you be killing that shit, and that's what's funny because like everybody has their own little like their lane, their own lane that they're in, but it's like it adds all to it, you know, like it like
it's comedy events. That's what I tell people. That's what it's like.
Yeah. And you know, and then like when you rewatch some of the videos, there's certain shit that you don't recognize until you watch them back. Because I forgot there was one, and it was like you and I want to say it was Chaz. I don't know. You guys was arguing, and Cam was in the back doing this. But like every scene,
you talking about that's one of my favorite scenes. You talking about on the list?
Yes, yeah.
We talking. How this nigga on both sides of the argument?
Right, he was on both sides. Like
that shit is so funny.
And I didn't notice that the first time I watched it. I think it was this year when I watched it, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" And I just kept on rewinding that back, and it was like, that is why it still stands because like you see stuff that you didn't see before, or you hear somebody say something in the background that wasn't like the main audio, but you catch a joke.
I remember one of my other favorite jokes is in not the nigga whisperer, but that's funny too. But who booty is it when the girl goes and shits in the it's the part in there when they start yelling at the door and they like, hey, you gotta come out, you know what I'm saying? And then Emmanuel's like, look, we got you surrounded, and then in the background, in the most quietest voice, you hear Cam say equator, and that is so funny to me. And I didn't notice it for like 4 years. Like I didn't even notice it. I was like, wait, what does this say? Equator. That shit is so funny. Yeah, I love little stuff like that. Yeah.
Have y'all thought about doing any like reaction videos, like going back watching y'all old stuff and then
you know what? That's a good idea. Like here's the thing, like 2020 made me realize like the world is yours, really. You can do what you want. So I'm about to start kicking up some more vlogs again soon.
Yeah, man, that's we did. Cause you and Cam, well, I mean, COVID stopped y'all, but like y'all can't do y'all travel stuff. Because...
Oh, the boys. Oh, listen. When the borders open, the boys is out of here. We are out of here. We were supposed to be traveling this year. We were supposed to be in Japan for the Olympics. We were supposed to be in Africa, Ethiopia with my stepmom and her family. Like it was supposed to do all that, but next year, boys is back. Boys is definitely back. So yeah, we just at the point where I'm down to do whatever on our channel. Once I seen that the stories was a hit, I was like, okay, so they just want content. Like it don't even like
that's pretty much what they want. They want content, man.
You as a creator, you get this pressure. You're like, but I don't want to put out because I don't know if they're gonna. You're like, man, fuck all that. Like that's the like I said, the area that I'm in. I'm like, I feel like everything could be content. So just trying to figure out how I want to put out there. But speaking of content and watching y'all stuff, I realized something between your strip club stories and then Cam's strip club story. I feel like y'all have the most randomest strip club experiences every time. So random, and I think we got I think it's 2 more that I ain't even tell yet. Like one of them that was on my birthday that we did like 3-4 years ago. Like it just be random shit. I was like, why that shit be happening to us?
Right. And like it's funny because like when I was watching you, it started making me think about my random interaction that I have, and I was like, fam, I should do a story time. But I was like, I don't want to seem like I'm biting off anybody. But I was like, I got a story where like I almost fought Plies at a Whataburger. Like that story was crazy.
I tell you, I put it to you this way: you ever in LA, you come to the store, you just come tell it.
Definitely. Like that's
what we started to do Dormtainment stories, but featuring so and so, like come tell it.
You know what? I'm gonna say that story now. If I ever get out to LA, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm like, hey, I'm in. Like, can I tell the story because it is a hilarious story. Like, yeah. So, all right. So one of the things that we do, as we wrap up, we do what we call top 5s and stuff like that, right? And I do one usually about amongst the industry. Then I do one that's kind of like a little bit different and everything like that. So I want to get from you, because you guys got so much content, what is your top 5 sketches that you have been a part of? I know it's hard.
All right.
And it doesn't have to be in order. So you can just say 5. Yeah.
All right. I mean, off top, I got to put Dick Touch the Water. Off top, I can't. That right there was an internet hit. It still is. Let's let's see. I would say, you know what? I would say what her face looked like because it was so random. I don't know if you remember what her face looked like, which was basically we were sitting on the park bench and the girl was across the street.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
We were trying to guess what her face looked like. She turned around, she ain't got no face. Like what? That one's up there. Who booty is it up there? Just because it was so well shot and it's such an ignorant situation to be in. Like that one's up there. Nigga whisperer, just because that's some black ass shit. Like the nigga whisperer. Damn, Nat Black Geo laughing. That's up there. And I would say for another honorable. You know, I would replace what her face looked like with ass on the internet because that was our first million view video. I would definitely, I would replace that. So that would be, it'd be Dick Touch the Water, ass on the internet. Who booty is it? Black people laughing and
what her face look like.
And what her face, I would do that.
Yeah. No, that's how I look. Like for me personally, I think the Thanksgiving ones are always funny, just because. And you know what? It was funny because I got to interview Cynthia. And I was just talking about like the comedic timing that she has, and I was saying, and
Forrest was a good one too. Is Cynthia?
Oh, I was strictly talking about that one because I was like, however y'all wrote that was hilarious because y'all back and forth was so good, and like when he was like. See, we used to play half court, but now we're doing full court now.
That's one of my funniest parts because she said, so you came to get your shorts that you gave to me. I'm like, yeah. So you came to get the shorts that, you know, you put all your love and heart in. Yeah. So you mean the shorts that I called my mama and told her the shorts that belong to the man that is my dreams that I've done? Yeah. Yo, and when we did that, we need to do that on purpose. I told her, I said, yo, we killing this comedic time right now.
And then what makes it even more funnier is then when y'all did the second video, y'all ran it back. She was like, y'all ran when it was the I love you one. She was like, I know you playing full court now.
She's like, I know you playing full court now. I didn't even tell her to do that. When she said it the first time, that was the second take. When she said it the first time, I busted out laughing. But yeah, she's great. Her comedic time is crazy. You know,
man, and so and that's one of the things that I always like you can see like that comedic time, and I'm like, oh yeah, Rome, like he a different beast with that because I was like, all that can't be written. A lot of that got to be just.
Oh yeah. Whenever we get with certain people, Cynthia, homegirl Layla, who I did Dirty Girl with.
Yep.
Who else? Them two, Gail. Anybody? When we get with people like that, we'll write a script, but then when they get here, we'll be like, all right, look, this was on the script. But we can rock. Just let me know. Because if I look at Cynthia and be like, all right, this is the scene. The scene is we laying here. I say I love you, but I say I love you too. But you thinking I'm saying I love you and da da da. And we'll be like, all right, action. And we'll play and bounce off. And it'll be something like Emmanuel's good at like reeling it in. He'll be like, all right, let's do that one line, do this again. So Emmanuel's good at seeing that and pushing it together. But that's what I love about certain actors. Like though she's really good. Like she deserves it all. Like she's good. You know what? You just made me. I'm gonna repost that. Give me my short. That scene.
that scene is hilarious. All right. So with all the places that you guys have been, top 5 cities that you visited.
As a group, like as a unit.
Yeah, as a group, like while on tour, like you guys should be like that. And, like think about like just like energy, good show, like top 5. Yeah.
Oh man, number one, our best show we've done to this date was Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's great because that was home city. You know, that was home state. So I'll never forget the energy of that show. That shit was standing ovation, clap. I was like, yo, this is wild. Like they went there screaming. Man, my mom was there, so that made it even. So that's So that's definitely Charlotte. Toronto's dope. Miami's always up there, always in there. Niggas don't get no work done in Miami. You already know. But,
you already know.
New York, and then I would say last would be Atlanta. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So then the last segment that we do is we do a recommendation. It could be either something you're reading, something you're watching, something you're listening to, but something that you think that our listeners would take value from.
All right, I'm gonna give you 3 books. Number 1, The Alchemist. Number 2, The 4 Agreements. And number 3, The 5 a.m. Club. And I'm gonna give you the reason for each book. Number 1, The Alchemist, because it talks about the journey. And it's a young shepherd boy who goes on this journey throughout this whole book. I read the book in one day. It was so good. I couldn't put it down. He's on a journey. It pretty much talks about the journey of life and the gems that you learn along the way. Number 2, The 4 Agreements of Life. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Never assume, and always do your best. And he breaks down all 4 of those throughout the book. And it's really the book that shifted me at the age of 27, shifted me to where I am now mentally. So that was great. And then the 5 a.m. Club, we read that April this year. That's the reason why I was able to do this business, the Shades business. That's the reason why we've been getting up at 5 a.m. That's the reason why we ended such a positive state. It helped me increase my finances, everything, because it's just a great book about the power of owning your morning and elevating your life. So I would definitely suggest that. So that's my gems for the day.
No, that's dope. And you know what's funny is all through these podcast, these interviews that I've been doing, I've been interviewing a lot of Black people, right? A lot of Black folks, and like that, everybody has recommended books. And I think that that's so dope, especially coming from Black men, just because with the stigma, like, oh, you know, like what they think we are about. And everybody is recommending books, self-embetterment books, business books, things that expand, you know what I'm saying, your mindset. And I think that that's so dope because it's like, it's not even me coercing it. It's just, what are you recommending? And everybody just automatically selling it.
Because books shifted my life. Like, I would not be where I am right now if I wouldn't be reading. Like, that's guaranteed. And for those who, if you're not really well at reading, I know some people aren't good at reading, please get the audiobook. Like, it's not, get the audiobook,
All right, well, how can my people find you, man?
All right, basically, you can find me at Irome IROME a lot on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow the group at Dormtainment at DORMTAINMENT. Of course, you can get you some nice frames, some nice shades for your winter collection at The Shady Side Up. That's THESHADYSIDEUP. And that's across Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. And look out for us, Comedy Trap House every Tuesday. If you want to become a part of the Patreon, it's patreon.com/Comedy Trap House. We do Boss Talk every week. We're almost to our 100th episode. We haven't missed a week since last February, which is wild. But that consistency, man, that consistency got to stay in there. So we literally just recorded one today. Check out Boss Talk, and you can follow the Boss Talk page too at Real Boss Talk on Instagram and The Real Boss Talk on Twitter. And that's all my information. You can also you can Zelle me if you want to send me some money, or Venmo me, whatever you want to
do. Side note, I was watching y'all Zooming with the homies, which shout out. This is gonna be out next week Saturday, but I'm gonna be on Zooming with the homies tonight, so I'm super excited about that shit. But like the y'all story about just like why y'all wasn't rocking with no, not that. No, the story about why y'all wasn't rocking with Cash App.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Cam story, and it was funny because I was like, damn, I got Cash App. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna unlink it, but I was like, but I can still have it.
Real. That shit real. Niggas were getting got. Like, it was real. But I thought you meant we was talking about Kev. Kev said, yeah, Dormtainment, I got a bone to pick with y'all, man.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Like, y'all ain't rocking me. We like, what you talking about? He's like, I invited y'all niggas to dinner.
No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. It's funny because, like Kev's approach to y'all would probably be my approach, because I'm like, all right, if I get out there, I'm like, okay, because you know what? Like, everybody that I've been interviewing lives in LA. And I was like, fam, so I'm like, okay, what if I get out in LA? I'm like, but I ain't gonna know anybody. I'm like,
it's funny because Mike presented it to us like, yeah, some dude.
Some dude.
named Kevin invited us to, nigga, you said I'm not going over no random nigga named Kevin house.
And I felt where you were coming because I'm like, yeah, if my guy Bacardi was like, hey, yeah, like even if like, hey, yeah, some nigga named Rome was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, come to the comedy trap house. I'm like, wait, what? Like, wait, what are you talking about? Like,
who is this nigga? Like,
right. So it's kind of Mike's fault because he didn't put no context to it.
Mike's fault.
He could have put some context to it. Like, no, Kev, he's Kev.
You know, he love the Lord. We gonna get blessed up. You know what I'm saying? We all right, cool. All right, we're gonna get up out here again. This has been Geekset Podcast 101 with Deuces, the only place that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces. This has been Rome from Dormtainment, and we are out. Peace.
You like that video? Man, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. We got so many more videos on our page, so make sure you check them out over here. Hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that way you can always be notified anytime we release a new video. You already know how Geekset get down. We got so much coming for y'all, man. Check it out. Stay in tune.
There was a time where hip-hop culture and geek culture were at odds.